undergoing a period of growth. When Haydar came up to me about a few months ago, I think it was about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and said, we want to get involved in this particular conference. We want to help organise it. We want to help stimulate debate. My initial thought was, why is a counter-extremism organisation, an organisation that counters jihadism, an organisation that counters extremism, why do we want to get involved in this? Is this our core work? And then I remembered a few things. And I remembered that video that we showed earlier on about how this girl had said to Asifa Lahore, you can't be Muslim and gay. Pick one. And then I remembered a person who is Muslim, grew up in quite an extremist tradition, hardcore literalist fundamentalist, and I remember a conversation I had with him. And he said, Haras, let me tell you about being gay. I said, okay. He said, if you are gay, you have to throw the homosexual off the mountain. Okay, wow, okay. If you are gay, you have to be ostracized from within the community. Okay. If you are gay, you do not deserve to live. If you are gay and you do not deserve to live, and God will punish you, you might as well blow yourself up for the cause and become a terrorist. And then he said, imagine if the person that's telling you this is yourself, about yourself. And that was pretty powerful. Here was a young guy who'd been taught that he can't have these multiple identities. It's haram. Not allowed. It's a huge sin within Islam. And that's the only interpretation. It's a crime. Be punished. And by the way, if you want to do something, go and blow yourself up. God will reward you, and you'll have lots of rewards when you go to heaven. Here is a guy who very nearly, he was fighting with the feelings that he was having inside. And the only redemption he could find was to blow himself up. And I thought, this is very powerful. And then I remembered one other thing. And I remembered whilst I was studying this year, where I was learning about tasawwuf, the spirituality, etc., and various versions of jurisprudence, I remembered that the last Islamic state, which was the Ottoman Empire, it was an Islamic state of sorts. The state that a lot of these people now who are teaching this kind of narrow interpretation are holding up as the benchmark, Islamic state, saying, we want to be like that, we want to take back the glory days of Islam. They decriminalised homosexuality in the 1800s. They were the first country in the world to decriminalise it. Here in the UK, you could still be locked up and charged and prosecuted in the 50s and 60s. But in the 1800s, the Ottomans got rid of it. And they didn't just get rid of it because they said, let's get rid of it. They used Islamic jurisprudence to do that. And amongst other things, they used two key concepts. And don't forget, the Ottomans had what they called the Sheikh al-Islam at the time, for the whole, in inverted commas, Muslim world, Muslim lands that they controlled. And they used two key concepts, which many people will now try and get rid of. The first one, maqasid. I don't know if anybody here speaks Arabic. Yeah, maqasid. What is the spirit? What is the purpose? What is the spirit of the law? What was the intention of the law? And the other one, maslaha. What is the benefit to the society of this law or reforming this law? And from an Islamic perspective, they got rid of, they decriminalised homosexuality and a number of other things. You know, all this killing, stoning somebody to death for being an apostate. They got rid of all of that. So then I thought, when Haydar mentioned this, I thought, it's important that people should know about this. So, thank you, Haydar, for actually coming along and having that conversation with me and then saying, making me sort of, we need to be involved with this.